Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Lake Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. And today, y'all, we have another mock draft. This is mock draft 2.0 pre-combine edition. How's everyone doing on tonight? Yeah, man, another mock draft, baby. Another mock draft. Yes. As y'all know, the NFL Combine starts tomorrow, Thursday, February 29th in Indiana. And so I decided, hey, let me do my second NFL mock draft before the combine starts. And I will tell y'all that after the combine is over with, probably the week following that, I will do my third NFL mock draft post combine edition. But today, y'all, it is time for mock draft 2.0 pre-combine edition. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and get straight into this thing. How's everyone doing on tonight? So let's start this draft, baby. Let's have some fun, y'all. So hold on. It's trying to hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. It was trying to draft for me. Hold up. It was trying to draft for me. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay. Here we go, y'all. Sorry about that. It was trying to draft for me. I had the wrong setting turned on. Okay. So y'all, think y'all know I'm going the first three picks, right? Still gonna be the same as last time. I had the Bears taking Caleb Williams. Why? Because they're gonna trade Justin Fields. And again, like I said on last night, Justin Fields is my boy, right? I really, really like Justin Fields, but I just think that the Bears are ready to move on. I think Justin Fields is ready to move on. I think the fan base is kind of split. I think, honestly, I really do. I think the fan base is kind of split, but I had them taking Caleb Williams. They're gonna trade Justin Fields. Next up, I have the Commanders, y'all. Same as last time. Like I said, the first three picks gonna be same as last time. I had the Commanders this time, y'all, taking Jaden Daniels once again. I really feel like for the Commanders, they were at their best when they had a former dual threat quarterback named Robert Griffin III. I think they go back to that, get a guy in Jaden Daniels that's a dual threat. I've seen people compare him to Lamar Jackson. I've seen people compare him to Randall Cunningham. I compared him to Vince Young and Deshaun Watson, but I think he has a higher ceiling than both of those guys. I really, really like Jaden Daniels. I think Commanders go there. Third overall, Patriots, y'all had him taking Drake May once again. Like I said, the first three picks gonna be the same. Drake May makes a ton of sense. The Mac Jones era is over in New England. It's time for a fresh start for him. It's time for a fresh start for the New England Patriots. And so, because of that reason, I had them taking quarterback Drake May, who I've compared to Ryan Tannehill and Justin Herbert and Carson Palmer. Really love me some Drake May as well. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals at pick 4. And this is a very easy pick. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best. I think, in my opinion, he's the best player in this entire draft class. So I think this makes a ton of sense. The Cardinals are in desperate need of weapons on that offense. So you go out and get the best player in this draft class, Marvin Harrison Jr., who I think, y'all, is going to be one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. Let me repeat. I did not stutter. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. will become one of the greatest receivers in NFL history because this dude has a unique skill set that we have never, ever seen. He's a combination, y'all, in my opinion, of Amari Cooper and Julio Jones. And there's a dangerous combination. Next up, we had the Chargers at the 5th overall pick. Now, y'all know my first mock draft, I had the Chargers taking offensive lineman Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. Yesterday, though, y'all, we heard their new GM, and he stated that the Chargers will take the best player available on their board. He said that even though they have good receivers, that would not stop them from taking a wide receiver. And y'all, I love this mindset. Let's clap. I love that mindset because you should always go for best player available. That's how I feel. You go for best player available. And for the Chargers, right? The Chargers are in a very unique situation because coming into this season, none of us thought the Chargers were going to be picking 5th at the end of the season. Right? But they did not play up to their standard. They did not live up to the high expectations that a lot of us had for them. They fired their GM and head coach. So this is a new regime. They're starting over, right? Bringing in Jim Harbaugh. But y'all, if you're going best player available, you have to take Malik Nabers, wide receiver out of LSU, who, in my opinion, is the second best receiver in this draft class. You have to take him. And here's the thing. Okay, yesterday I heard their GM. He also stated that they do not know what they're going to do with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. But I feel like one of them, at least one of them, is going to get either cut or traded, and that's going to be leave them with a big hole at wide receiver. I was, last year under their former general manager Tom Telesco, he took wide receiver Quentin Johnston in the first round. I think they go back to their receiver well, y'all. They take wide receiver Malik Nabers again. He stated on yesterday that they will take the best player available, and I totally agree with that mindset. I do not like when GMs say, "Oh, we're going to worry about needs." No, I get it. You have to address your needs, and they actually do need a wide receiver. And they really could have a massive hole at wide receiver if they end up trading one of Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. But you have to go to the best player available. And to me, y'all, the next best player available would be Malik Nabers. That's who I had them taking. Next up, we had the New York Giants on the clock, and we know the Giants, y'all, coming off a disappointing season. We know in 2022 they made the playoffs, and so this year the expectation was they would go back to the playoffs. Even though I was trying to tell people the Giants were overachievers in 2022, but a lot of people didn't believe that, and they got disappointed this year. Where you look at the Giants, what's their biggest need, y'all? In my opinion, I think it's wide receiver, right? They need to get a number one playmaker on that offense. They just got a bunch of dudes right now. That's it, just a bunch of bodies there. But none of those dudes scream number one wide receiver material. Get your number one wide receiver. And I think that is Mr. Rome Odunze. He's a number one wide receiver, y'all, in this class. You can make a case Rome Odunze is the best receiver in this draft class, right? I mean, you really can. I've seen some people have him ranked as the number one wide receiver in this draft class. I think he's number 3 wide receiver, but it's very close between him, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Malik Nabers. All those boys are some ballers. I think very highly of all of them. And I think for the Giants, I know some people will get quarterback. You need to get rid of Daniel Jones. But in my opinion, I would not do that right now, because you're talking about the next best quarterback available, in my opinion, would be J.J. McCarthy. And I don't think J.J. McCarthy is worthy of taking this high. Not over a guy like Rome Odunze, who probably is going to be a future all-pro receiver. You take that guy. Next up, y'all, pick 7. We have my Tennessee Titans. Okay? And I understand this is going to be a very controversial pick. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because yesterday, y'all, when we heard from our GM, Rand Carthon, from our new head coach, Brian Callahan, what did they keep saying over and over and over and over and over again? We need to get playmakers. Brian Callahan went on the record, y'all, and he said he would rather have a guy that can score touchdowns than a guy that can block. And so, and as I've stated multiple times on this channel, I really do believe, y'all, really do believe that the Titans are going to invest heavily in their offensive line in free agency. You heard yesterday, Rand, I almost said Brian. Rand said on yesterday that because they have Brian Callahan's father, Bill Callahan, as the offensive line coach, that it gives them more leeway, right? It can give them some more leeway. So you may not have to take an offensive tackle as highly as you want have to once take him. So instead of taking a lineman at pick 7, you could wait till the 38th pick, which is where we're picking in the second round, to take one, right? Because you have a guy in Bill Callahan who's through the years has probably been the best offensive line coach in the league, one of the best of all time. And what did Brian Callahan say? Once again, y'all, he said he's going to take a dude that can score touchdowns over a dude that can block. Because he said the dudes that score touchdowns are more important. And so because of that reason, I have the Tennessee Titans taking LSU wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. And like I said, I know this is going to be controversial. But if y'all watch my Brian Thomas Jr. scouting report that I did last week, I really like this kid. Gave him a grade of 89. I think he's going to be a really good player. And what did Brian and Rand keep saying, y'all? They kept saying this team needs to get faster. We need to add more speed. Well, that's a speed guy right there. Brian Thomas Jr. has so much speed, athleticism, and his vertical ability, y'all. His vertical ability. And you pair him with a quarterback like Will Levis. Oh, my gosh, y'all. You got to clap on that. Because it would be a beautiful thing to see Will Levis, Brian Thomas Jr., D-Hop. Woo! So I had the Titans taking wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. at pick 7. Next up, we had the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, ATL shorty. But we have the Atlanta Falcons on the clock. And as we know, the Atlanta welcome to Atlanta where the players play. But as we know, the Falcons have a massive need at quarterback. Now, as I stated on last night, I think the Falcons should go after quarterback Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears. And it seems like they are. As I posted in the community tab today, that a report came out that the Falcons and Bears are in conversations, in trade conversations surrounding Justin Fields. And so because of that reason, they get Justin Fields. You don't have to worry about quarterback in the draft. I know some people think the Falcons could trade up. I don't. Why trade up? Just go and get Justin Fields and put him in this offense, and boom, y'all ready to go play football. But you look at the other side of the ball, y'all. The Falcons have a major need at edge rusher. And in my opinion, the best edge rusher in this draft class is Dallas Turner out of Alabama. We know Dallas Turner in 2022, he kind of went under the radar because he was playing next to Will Anderson Jr. We know Will Anderson Jr. is probably the most coveted edge rusher of that 2022 class. And so he kind of got overlooked. But this year he did his thing. He did his thing in 22, but this year he did his thing. He was the man on that Alabama defense. And I really love me some Dallas Turner, man. Very, very athletic and speedy edge rusher out of Alabama. And I think he would fit perfectly next to the Falcons because we know, y'all, the Falcons for years have needed the Falcons for years have needed edge rusher help, right? And I'm laughing because, man, the Falcons have tried Vic Beasley, they've tried to Carson McKinley, Bud Dupree. Yeah, get you a real deal superstar potential edge rusher in Dallas Turner and keep it pushing. Next up, y'all, we have the Chicago Bears. Now, Chicago Bears, obviously, I had them taking, Caleb Williams with the first overall pick. Now, with the way this board has shaped up, y'all, you got Joe Alt still sitting. You got Olu Fashanu still sitting here. Right? You talking about all the receivers are really gone now, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., Rama Duzan, they're all gone. To me, if you're the Bears, this is the easy pick. You got to go Joe Alt. Because if he falls to your lap at pick 9, man, you got to run that card up. Right, run it up to Roger Goodell and don't even think twice. This is an easy pick, Joe Alt. I know they need edge rusher, but you cannot pass on a guy like Joe Alt, who is probably going to be a future Pro Bowl / All-Pro level tackle. So you got to take him. Next up, y'all, we had the New York Jets on the clock at pick 10. And we know the Jets have major needs at wide receiver all across the O-line. We also know they can maybe think about quarterback because even though Aaron Rodgers is coming back, he is going to be 41 at the end of the year. And you got to start thinking about a future plan. But for me, y'all, this is an easy pick. I had them taking offensive tackle out of Oregon State, Teluise Fuega. Teluise Fuega. And the reason I had them taking him is because, y'all, we've heard all the rumors that Joe Douglas is very high on Teluise Fuega. I think he is probably the 4th or 5th best tackle. I would take Olu Fashanu ahead of him. I maybe even would think about taking Amarius Mims ahead of him, but reportedly Joe Douglas is very high on him, and that's why I had them taking him. Because personally, I would have Olu Fashanu, but hey, Joe Douglas is high on this kid, and this is the time of year, y'all, where when you're doing these mock drafts, you gotta start listening to some of the rumors and reports that's coming out because we are finna be in March, and we're only about a little over a month away from the draft. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings at pick 11. My first mock draft, I had them taking Toledo quarterback Quinyon Mitchell. With this time, y'all, I think this is an easy pick for me. I had them taking Leai Latu, edge rusher out of UCLA. I really like this kid a lot, man. He's very bendy, a speed rusher. I think he needs to improve as a run defender, but his edge rushing ability is really, really nice. So I would love this pick for the Vikings. There's a great chance they don't bring back Danielle Hunter, and if you don't, they will leave a massive hole on that edge rusher group. So you got to go with Leai Latu. I love this pick right here. Next up, we have the Denver Broncos at pick 12, y'all. Easy. I'm going to talk for 5 seconds right here. J.J. McCarthy. Next up, okay, I will go back real quick. But, y'all, I think this is a really easy pick. I mean, we heard Sean Payton. Say the other day that pretty much he did confirm that they will move on from Russell Wilson. And so if you're going to move on from Russ, it doesn't make sense to go out there and maybe get another veteran quarterback, right? Just get a young guy and JJ McCarthy, who's a proven winner. Now he does need to improve, but JJ McCarthy is a proven winner. He just coming off a national championship win. And he has good traits to be a really, really good quarterback in this league. And I think it's about time the Broncos like, man, you got to quit playing musical chairs with quarterbacks. Just find one, hopefully develop him a little bit more, and then boom, you have your guy. I think that's where they go here. My first mock draft, I had them taking a cornerback, Cooper DeJean. But I think now, y'all, we know Russ is definitely not coming back. It just makes too much sense of the word. Next up, we had the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to say Las Vegas. They're not in Angeles anymore. We have the Las Vegas Raiders on the board. And y'all, for me, people are going to say quarterback. But I push back on that. Because yesterday, their new GM, Tom Telesco, came out and stated that Davante Adams will remain a Las Vegas Raider. What does that mean, y'all? That means that the Raiders want to compete this year, right? They want to compete this year. Because if the Raiders didn't want to compete, what would they do? Trade Davante Adams and rebuild this thing and draft a rookie quarterback. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go after Russell Wilson. That's what I really believe. I think the Raiders are going to go after Russ. Because I don't think they're going to be able to get Justin Fields. I think the Falcons will get ready to get that done very, 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 very soon. So I don't think the Raiders will be able to get him. I think they're going to get Russ. So because of that, I think they pass up, y'all. They pass up on quarterback, and they take a cornerback who is my number one cornerback in this draft class, Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo. Next up, y'all, we have the New Orleans Saints. And if you're the Saints, man, you just got blessed because now Olu Fashanu, who I think is the second best tackle in this draft class, is sitting here on the board. That the first mock draft I did, I had him taking wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr., but this time, y'all, I had him taking Olu Fashanu. That offensive line is really, 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 really bad, and Derek Carr needs some more protection. You can also think about edge rusher right here or corner, but I just look and I'm like, Olu Fashanu's right here. The value is too good. You cannot pass him up. So give me Olu Fashanu to the Saints. Next up at pick 15, we have my rival, the Titans' arch rival, the Indianapolis Colts on the clock. And when you look at the Colts, they need receiver, they need edge rusher, they need corner. So they have massive needs at some of the most important positions in the league. When I look at the way their GM, Chris Ballard, the way he builds his team, y'all, he's big on traits, right? He loves those that's long, athletic. That's what he's really all about. And so when I look at this, and I'm like, long, athletic corner that he can fall in love with. Give me Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson, to go to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm not as high on Nate Wiggins as some people are, but I think the fit with the Colts, the way Chris Ballard is, like I said, he is very big on traits. Nate Wiggins is 6'2", is about 190. And I know but this weekend at the Combine, he's going to test very well. And Chris Ballard, again, y'all, he's a guy that's very big on traits when he's looking for his players. So give me Nate Wiggins to the Colts. How y'all feeling so far, y'all? We already 15 picks in. How y'all feeling? How we feeling, baby? Give me some thumbs up. Yeah. What makes the Colts, the Titans, Robert said the Jags are Texans? I would say because the Colts have had our number pretty much every year that we've been in the AFC South. All those years that Peyton Manning was with them, I mean, they owned us. Whereas with the Jaguars and Texans, it's been the other way around. Like, we've owned them, right? Like, we really have owned them. But with the Colts, I mean, they just really have had a stranglehold on us. So that's why I say that I feel like the Colts are really our rival. Obviously, all of them are our rivals to a certain extent because we all play in the same division. But the Colts especially are our rival because they have just played so well against us for so many years. I mean, even this year, they swept us, right? We did not win a game against the Colts this year. And the last game we played against them, like, they beat us at home. And we were, supposedly we were a good home team this year. But, yeah, that's why I had the Colts as our rival and not really the Jaguars or Texans. Next up, we have the Seahawks at pick 16. And for the Seahawks, they need O-line. They need edge rusher. You could even say they need wide receiver because there's a chance they might cut Tyler Lockett. But for me, y'all, this is such an easy pick. And my first mock draft, I had them taking offensive lineman J.C. Latham. But not this time around, y'all, because Brock Bowers is still sitting on the board. Brock Bowers, you can make a case that he's a top 5 player in this draft class. I just think because he's a tight end, the positional value is not going to be there. And then secondly, y'all, a lot of these teams really need quarterbacks. They need cornerbacks. They need O-linemen, and they need wide receivers. And I think because that Brock Bowers is going to fall more than he should. But I think if you're the Seahawks, man, having Brock Bowers, DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, having those guys, your pass catchers for years and years and years and years and years to come is a very good trio. Who knows what they're going to do with Geno Smith or Drew Lock? I mean, we heard their head coach, Mike McDonald, say the other day that it's not guaranteed that either one of them is going to be the starter. So who knows what the Seahawks really have up their sleeves. But I think right now you have to take Brock Bowers and boom, hey, you worry about quarterback at a later date time. Next up, y'all, we had the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know the Jaguars obviously disappointed into the season. They started 8-3, ended the season 9-8, missed the playoffs. The Texans ended up winning the division. They have a massive need at corner. They have a massive need at wide receiver. They have a massive need at tackle. They have a massive need at edge rush position. Even though I feel like they're going to bring back Josh Allen. So to me, if they bring back Josh Allen, edge rush is not a need. So I have them taking, and this is what I feel like they will probably do, but I had them taking cornerback Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. Cooper DeJean is my second ranked cornerback in this year's draft class. I compare him to Jalen Ramsey, man, because his versatility, y'all. This dude can play corner. He can play in the slot. He can line up in the box, I think, as a linebacker. He can play over the top at safety. I really like Cooper DeJean. I think for the Jaguars, you got to improve that secondary, man. That secondary was really, really bad this year. Darius Williams, listen, Darius Williams had a pretty solid season, but at the end of the day, he's going to be 31. You need to give a long-term plan to pair up with Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell, he didn't have the year that a lot of people thought he was going to have, but that's because he was injured a lot. So I think you get another young cornerback in that group to go with Tyson Campbell. You add Cooper DeJean, and now you got a really good 1-2 punch at cornerback for years and years and years and years to come. Next up, y'all, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals on the clock at pick 18. And we know the Bengals just franchise tag T. Higgins. In my first mock draft, I had them taking wide receiver Keon Coleman out of Florida State. But now, y'all, since they have franchise tag T. Higgins, we can look to the defensive side of the ball. And I think for them, this is a match made in heaven. Match made in heaven. DJ Reader is a free agent, and I don't think they're going to bring him back. But even if you do, you have a guy in Illinois, y'all, that could easily go higher than this. Jer'Zhan Newton. Man, this kid is an absolute freak of nature. The Bengals will be very lucky if he ends up falling this far. Which, again, like I said, kind of like with Brock Bowers, there's a chance that some of these players could fall lower than they should just because there's so many teams, like I said, they need quarters, they need quarterbacks, they need wide receivers, they need O-linemen, they need edge rushers. So a guy like Jer'Zhan Newton could fall lower than he should, but man, the Bengals able to snatch him up. That would be a big, big, big gift for them. I would not like it as a Titans fan because, you know, the Bengals are in the AFC, but I ain't gonna lie, it would be a good gift for them. Next up, y'all, we have the Los Angeles Rams on the clock. The team that no one thought would go to the playoffs. And when I look at the Rams, right, to me, the biggest need is at corner and D-line to a certain extent. But I think because Aaron Donald's still around, I know they need to think about a future player to play at that D-lineman spot. But I think because Aaron Donald's still around, you drafted Kobe Turner, very impressive rookie this year. I think you don't have to address D-line right now. My first mock draft, y'all, I had them taking cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. And like I said, I just really think the Rams need that. When the Rams were at their best, they had a superstar cornerback named Jalen Ramsey. Shout out Jalen Ramsey from Smyrna, Tennessee, man. Smyrna, Tennessee. Yeah. But I think when you look at him, y'all, when you look at the Rams, they really need a lockdown corner. And so this time they gonna take my cornerback number 3, Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. Not Kool-Aid McKinstry, but we get his teammate Terrion Arnold, man, who I think is a very, very, very good player. And he would be a perfect match for the Rams, as they could use a guy like him that could come in and be a ball hawk as well. That's what the Rams need. They need some dudes on that team that can make some plays, y'all, in their secondary. Next up, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I will tell you this. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're another team that's probably going to get a quarterback. I don't think it will be a rookie quarterback, because I think Mike Tomlin is ready to compete. Right? I think Mike Tomlin is ready to compete, y'all. And I don't know if a rookie quarterback can handle that right now. This is a team that has a major need at corner still. Major need. Right? And they still could use help on the O-line. So I think for the Steelers, you have to wait. Do we go O-line? Do we go corner? Obviously, they drafted Broderick Jones last year. They drafted Joey Porter Jr. But they will double dip on one of those positions, y'all. Me personally, just looking at this Steelers secondary, Patrick Peterson, a free agent. But even if you bring him back, he's 34. Get you another young gun. Y'all, I have the Steelers taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback out of Alabama. Yeah, back-to-back Alabama corners going. I just think, y'all, like I said, looking at the Steelers, their secondary still needs help. I know you took Joey Porter Jr., but this is a league where you can never have enough corners nowadays, y'all, because these teams are passing the ball 40, 50 times a game. So you can never, ever, ever have enough cornerbacks. Give me Kool-Aid McKinstry. Next up, y'all, we had the Miami Dolphins at pick 21. And the Miami Dolphins, they recently did a thing or two. The Miami Dolphins released edge rusher Emmanuel Ogbah, and they released cornerback Xavier Howard. Now, y'all, to me, this is an easy pick. We're starting to see a run on some of these corners, right? I think Chris Greer could be looking like, these corners starting to go off the board. But I also could use an edge rusher. So what's more important, edge rusher, corner? He did say they could bring back Xavier Howard. They did draft Cam Smith last year in the second round. But to me, y'all, this is an easy pick because he's still on the board. I had the Miami Dolphins taking edge rusher Jared Verse. Yeah, y'all like how I set y'all up right there? Think that I was going to take a corner? Nope. No, I had the Miami Dolphins taking edge rusher Jared Verse. And, man, if he's still here at pick 21, it would be an amazing gift for them. I don't think he would last year. But in my draft, he did because, like I said, y'all, a lot of these teams, they just need quarterbacks, corners, wide receivers, and tackles. And that's the direction I went. Next up, we had the Philadelphia Eagles. This is an easy pick for me, y'all. Ennis Rakestraw Jr. Next, the Eagles, we know that secondary was so bad this year. So bad. Darius Slay's getting old. Like I said in my first mock draft, Darius Slay's getting older. James Bradbury's getting slower. Seriously, y'all, they're getting older and slower. Time to get some young, athletic legs up in there. The Ennis Rakestraw Jr., cornerback out of Missouri, man, very physical, y'all. He was a late bloomer, I'm not going to lie. And we're going to have to see what his injury status is looking like. So I can already see that at the combine because we know he dealt with a lot of injuries in college in Missouri. We have to see what that injury report is going to look like, y'all. We definitely have to see that medical report. We have to see what that's looking like because if it's not looking too hot, Ennis Rakestraw is probably going to fall to the second or third round. But right now, because of his tape, when I look at this kid's tape, because in my first mock draft, I didn't have him going in the first round. But looking at his tape, I'm like, wow, this kid is definitely a first-round player. I like Ennis Rakestraw Jr. Next up, we have the Houston Texans, man. My boy C.J. Stroud. I know that pains me as a Titans fan to say, but I got to keep it real, man. That man, C.J. Stroud's a bad man. But not only that, y'all, I just got to sing the praises of the Houston Texans a little bit, and I do got to give him a round of applause. I have to. Okay? Because you're talking about a rookie head coach, a rookie quarterback, a slew of other young players like Nico Collins and Tank Dell, Derek Stingley Jr., Christian Harris, Jalen Petrie, Will Anderson Jr., and they freaking go to the divisional round of playoffs. So, wow, kudos to the Houston Texans. But they still have some needs on this roster. But they have the salary cap space to address some of these needs. But when I look, y'all, at the Houston Texans, they need a wide receiver. They could also use a corner. But to me, y'all, the biggest need they have is on that D-line, right? On that D-line. I do think they will probably bring back Jonathan Grenard. But even if you bring him back, that interior, that D-line, still not good enough. We saw how the Ravens did them in that playoff game. Go beef up that D-line, man. I had the Texans, y'all, taking Byron Murphy the second out of Texas. This would kind of be funny, right? He's getting to stay home. That'd be kind of funny. But Byron Murphy, man, there's a large human being right there. And he would give the Texans the run-stopping defensive tackle that they so desperately need. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. Any Cowboys fans on here? Yeah, we still laughing at y'all that y'all lost in that playoff game. We still laughing. And Eagles fans too. We still laughing at both of y'all. Because both of y'all say y'all was going to the Super Bowl. But anyways, we had the Dallas Cowboys on the clock. And for me, y'all, this is the easy pick. This is a guy that over, I think, the last 2 or 3 weeks has really climbed a lot of people's draft boards, including mine. I have the Cowboys taking offensive tackle Tyler Guyton out of University of Oklahoma. And here's the thing, y'all. My first mock draft, I had them taking wide receiver A.D. Mitchell out of Texas. But the reason that I had them going offensive line is because Tyron Smith is 33 years old. He's going to be 34 in December. Right? He's been the Cowboys starting left tackle for years now. Been one of the best left tackles of this generation, future Hall of Famer. But he's getting older. And we know he's been injury prone. I mean, let's be honest. Tyron Smith has been injury prone. He's dealt with injuries the last 5-6 seasons. And we all know, man, that when you're playing sports, y'all, as you start to age, you cannot bounce back from those injuries the way you could have, say, when you were still younger. So I think for the Cowboys, getting a guy like Tyler Guyton, who's very young, he's still kind of raw, but that's okay because you can mold him. I think Tyler Guyton, I think, man, he has one of the highest ceilings, y'all, of a lot of these offensive linemen, right? Even maybe he probably has a higher ceiling than a guy like J.C. Latham, who I was really high on J.C. Latham back like in December, January. Then when I watched more of his tape, I haven't been as high on J.C. Latham as I once was. But I like what I've seen from Tyler Guyton and watching his tape. I think the Cowboys take him. They need a tackle because here's the thing. Like I said, even if they bring back Tyron Smith, dude, you got to find a replacement for him because Tyron Smith is on his last legs. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers. And, man, Green Bay, y'all kind of got lucky. You kind of got lucky because look who's still on the board for y'all. Amarius Mims, offensive lineman out of the University of Georgia. When you look at the Packers, in my first mock draft, I had them taking a corner, and they could take a corner. But I just think having Amarius Mims still sitting right here. We know David Bakhtiari, kind of similar to Tyron Smith. He's getting older. He's dealt with injuries. The Packers need a long-term solution because we know, man, left tackle is a very important position in the NFL. The second most important position behind quarterback. So for the Packers, yes, David Bakhtiari is still on the team, but there's a good chance he could get traded this offseason, and it'll also clear a lot of salary cap for them. But I think for the Packers, it's time to get younger, get cheaper at that tackle spot, go and get Amarius Mims, who kind of like Tyler Guyton. I think he might be a little bit better than Tyler Guyton right now, but still has some untapped potential that you can work with. He might not be a finished product right now, but I'll tell you, Amarius Mims is going to be a really good tackle. Next up, y'all, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for the Buccaneers, I think that this is going to be a very complicated pick for them because they could go a lot of different directions. They could go wide receiver. They could go corner. They could go edge rusher. They could even maybe go O-line. But when I look at them, they just released Shaq Barrett, right? You have Kalijah Kancey. You have Yaya Diallo. But you can never have enough edge rushers. They also could go receiver. because there's a chance they're gonna lose Mike Evans. If you lose Mike Evans, you really only have Chris Godwin. I do like their pick from last year, Trey Palmer. We saw he had that touchdown in the wild card game against the Eagles. I really like Trey Palmer. He's very, very fast. But I think for the Buccaneers, y'all, now that they have released Shaq Barrett, and it's so ironic because this is what I had them taking in my first mock draft. I think this makes too much sense. I had them taking, y'all, edge rusher Chop Robinson out of Penn State. And again, I thought about receiver here. I thought about corner here. But I think when you're just looking at the Buccaneers, it really, really does seem like they are probably going to go edge rusher now. Because they could have maybe tried to get Shaq Barrett to restructure his contract. But they didn't want to do that. They just released him. So now they have a hole, like really, really a big hole. Even though Shaq Barrett didn't play well last year, he still wasn't just god awful. But now you don't have anybody there. I think this is a perfect pick for them. Chop Robinson. The Bucs are a young team, and Chop Robinson is not a finished product, but he has all the traits in the world, y'all. He's an athletic monster. I think Chop can run about a 4.6. Anybody agree with that? Y'all think Chop Robinson can run like a 4.6 at the combine? I mean, man, is that dude athletic? He couldn't even run a 4.5, but I think he's gonna run about a 4.6. I'm telling you, Chop Robinson is gonna rise up the boards at the combine. Even though he's already projected first round pick, but I'm saying watch out because Chop Robinson can end up getting in that top 15, man. I think teams are gonna really love his traits and he's gonna perform very well at the combine. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals. When you look at the Cardinals, y'all, this is a team that needs help at corner. This is a team that needs help at D-line. This is a team that needs help at wide receiver. Obviously, we already addressed that by taking Marvin Harrison Jr. But for me, y'all, this is an easy pick. I had them taking Kamari Lassiter, cornerback out of Georgia. I really like Kamari Lassiter a lot. I'm higher on him than some people are. I love his physicality. I know he doesn't have the ball skills / production that a guy, say, Terry Arnold does, but I love the way Kamari Lassiter plays. He does need to start, making more plays on the ball and finishing, but man, I really love the way he plays. And he's a dog. Like, he went to Georgia Bulldogs. Well, he is a dog for real, man. Really love me some Kamari Lassiter. Yes, it is. It's too bad Jalen Ramsey. It's too bad Jalen Ramsey and Jauan Jennings could play at home. Yeah, it really is. I mean, kind of going off topic a little bit here, but Jalen Ramsey, when he was coming out of the draft in 2016, I remember I was telling my friends I wanted the Titans to take Jalen Ramsey with the #1 overall pick. Obviously, we ended up trading out that pick, and we took Jack Conklin. I mean, Jack Conklin was good for us, but Jalen Ramsey is a freaking future Hall of Famer. So thank you, John Robinson, because you passed up on a future Hall of Famer, dude. Be honest, is there any Titans fans in here that's still mad about that? Because I know it's not just me. If you still mad about that, come on. Y'all still mad? Yeah, because I'm still mad about that. That's why we playing that home, because I'm still mad about that, y'all. Dang, I'm so mad about that we didn't take Jalen Ramsey in that draft. But hey, it is what it is. Next up, y'all, we had the Buffalo Bills. And this is an easy pick for me. I had the Buffalo Bills taking A.D. Mitchell, wide receiver out of the University of Texas. We know how badly this team needs receiver. I mean, we just saw it, y'all. Outside of Stephon Diggs, they don't have anybody. And I know some people think Stephon Diggs is washed. I don't think Stephon Diggs is necessarily washed. I think the offense changed once they switched offensive coordinators. They were running the ball more with James Cook. And so I think that's why. Yes, I know Stephon Diggs had that bad, catch or bad drop or whatever in the playoff game against the Chiefs in the divisional round. But still, I think Stephon Diggs is still good. You need to add more. Gabe Davis is a free agent. We know the Buffalo Bills, man, are way over the salary cap. I don't think they're going to be able to bring Gabe Davis back. But you get a guy that's kind of similar to Gabe Davis, I think, but it can be more consistent and be better for them. Because A.D. Mitchell is a big play threat like Gabe Davis. The only problem is Gabe Davis, that's really all he does. I think A.D. Mitchell has more to his game than just being a big play threat. Like, I think A.D. Mitchell can run a short and intermediate route. So I just think he's going to be a better player than Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is way too hit or miss. I think for the Bills, you get a guy. I don't think A.D. Mitchell can ever be a number 1 wide receiver, but I think he can be a very, 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 very good number 2 wide receiver for you. Next up, y'all, we had the Detroit Lions. And I think for the Lions, this is a team that really needs to get better up front, y'all, on that D-line, right? We know they need a corner. They really need a corner. But I think they're going to address corner in free agency. That's what I think. Kind of like they did last year. But I think this year they can maybe go bigger. Because last year, some of the names, they brought in CJ Gardner-Johnson. Excuse me. They brought in CJ Gardner-Johnson. But he was injured. They brought in Cam Sutton. Like at the end of last year, y'all, at the end of this year when they played against the 49ers in that NFC Championship game, I mean, they were running Kendall Vildor out there at corner. That's not good. So they need corner. But to me, y'all, this is an easy pick. This guy feels like in my first mock draft, I had him taking TJ Tampa, and he feels like a line as well. But this dude really feels like a line, y'all. Edge rusher Darius Robinson out of the University of Missouri. I didn't really think that much of Darius Robinson. I thought he was like going to be a mid-second round pick. That's the grade I had on him. But the more I start watching his tape and I started watching how he played, particularly in the LSU game, I know they gave him a lot of points, but he played well in that game. I was like, okay, I like Darius Robinson. And he just fits the mold, man. His toughness, his physicality. We know that's what the lines are built on. He feels like a line. He feels like a Dan Campbell guy. Give me him and Aiden Hutchinson, really good 1-2 duo at edge rusher for years and years and years to come. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens. And y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought long and hard about this pick. I really, really did. Because the Ravens need edge, they need corner. They can go O-line. They can go wide receiver. And I thought, I'm like, it's a team that outside of Zay Flowers, y'all, they really don't have nothing at corner. They really don't. Or excuse me, they really don't have nothing at receiver outside of Zay Flowers. We still really haven't seen Rashad Bateman put it all together. Odell Beckham's a free agent. I don't know if they bring him back. And I know some Ravens fans might not like this, but I had them taking wide receiver Troy Franklin out of the University of Oregon. I'm telling y'all right now, Troy Franklin, man, this kid is really, really good. I really like Troy Franklin, y'all. Physical freak, but he has some speed to him. He can move vertically down that field. Really good hands. And I think you have him and Zay Flowers. That's 2 different types of receivers, which is what you need. This league is all about what, y'all? Versatility. Right? You can't really have versatility if you have 2 dudes that's basically the same size, same weight, all that stuff, have the same play style. You look at Zay Flowers, it's totally different. Zay Flowers is a shorter receiver that's really fast. Troy Franklin is a taller receiver that's fast, can move down the field, can really catch the ball, and can make those tough contested catches. I like him going to the Ravens. I think him, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, really, really that would be very fun to watch them play together. Last 2 picks, y'all. San Francisco 49ers pick 31. And this is an easy pick for me. I have them taking offensive tackle J.C. Latham. And the reason I had him taking the tackle, my first mock draft, I had him going corner. But the reason, y'all, I had him going, offensive tackle is because we saw the way their line really, 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 really failed them in that Super Bowl. Right? Because you had Chris Jones, you had George Karlaftis getting after it. And the 49ers really need corner, but they also really need tackle. Yeah, I think getting a guy like J.C. Latham, like I said, I'm not as high on J.C. Latham as I once was, but I think you're getting him at pick 31. The value is there. So this is really, really great value. If this was in the middle of the first round, like in 15 or 16, I'd be like, I don't know. But getting him right here makes a ton of sense. And then last but not least, Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs. I had the Chiefs taking y'all wide receiver Keon Coleman out of Florida State. We know how much the Chiefs really, really need wide receiver help. And they need wide receiver help desperately. So I think this makes a ton of sense. Getting Keon Coleman, who's a 6'4" athletic freak, monster at high point and in the red zone. So I love that. So, y'all, how y'all feeling? I will recap for y'all quickly. and then we get on out of here. But how y'all feeling? Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas Jr., Dallas Turner, Joe All, Luis Fuega, Lai Latu, J.J. McCarthy, Quinyon Mitchell, Olu Fashanu, Nate Wiggins, Brian Bowers, Cooper DeJean, Jerzion Newton, Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jared Verse, Ennis Ray Straw Jr., Byron Murphy II, Tyler Guyton, Amiris Mims, Chop Robinson, Kamari Lassiter, A.D. Mitchell, Darius Robinson, Troy Franklin, J.C. Latham, and Keon Coleman. How are we feeling, y'all? How are we feeling? I'm feeling really, 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 really nice about this mock draft 2.0. Yeah. How y'all feeling, man? I think, y'all, I like doing this mock draft better than my first one. I feel like my looking back at my first one, I was like, oh, there's some tweaks I could have made. But this one, I really like this one. I really do. Because now we've heard some, we've heard some of the GMs talk, we heard some of the head coaches talk, and now we kind of starting to get an idea of where they might lean. And so, yeah, what y'all think, man? No matter who your team is, just tell me what you think. Were you a Titans fan, Cowboys, Bears, whoever it is, Colts, Texans, Jaguars, Bengals, whoever it is. Hey, speak now. Tell me how you feeling. If not, that's okay. You don't got to if you don't want to. But yeah, this was Zay's NFL 2024 mock draft 2.0 pre-combine edition, man. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to hit that sub button, share it with your friends, everyone you know. Remember, y'all, add me on Twitch. It's Zabulon Sports, all lowercase. As I go live over there, let me repeat, add me at Twitch, Zabulon Sports, all lowercase. Remember, laughter is good medicine, so make sure you get your daily dose. I also want to say this, man. I see today, y'all, that I gained 3 new subscribers, so, hey, thank God for that. Yeah, thank God for that. Wow, man, it just showed you how great God is, how great He is, and how fast He can move and do things. Because literally yesterday I was celebrating and I got 40 subscribers, and now today I have 43 new ones. Come on, y'all, let's clap. Yeah, definitely gotta give God praise for that. Because we were already halfway there to 50. Oh my God, I cannot believe, y'all. We have 43. Yes. So thank God for that. Remember, laughter is good medicine. So make sure you get your daily dose. I love y'all. God bless. Pup. Hey, pup. Hey, pup. Peace.